Charlie, welcome to the Austen Tayshus podcast.
Thank you, Sandy.
We have known each other for a long time, probably 50 years now, 40, 45.
Well, I'm
years.
only 49, but
I'm 41, so the mathematics 41. The mathematics is inconsequential. But
it wasn't your strong suit.
That's right. It never was. No, I was terrible at that. But we do have a lot in common because we both went to Sydney Uni and we both did an arts degree, and you carried on.
I remember when you were doing lighting.
That's right. Well, that was subsequently, actually. That was.
Yeah.
But I started at Sydney University in '72. I think you started much earlier than that, did you?
Yeah, I got a scholarship when I was 8. The science. 8.
Incredible.
Into science.
Yeah.
And I was running the lab at 11.
Terrific, man. Well, you beat me because I have no capability within that area whatsoever.
No, when I've done business with you, Sandy, and you're very good with figures.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not as good as Billy Birmingham. But,
that's not an anti-Semitic comment, is it?
No. It's just your people.
Cut off your nose despite your race, you once said. But anyway. So no, I want to start in Albury actually because I love that book. I love Precious Bodily Fluids. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Charlie's first book, and repeating the Leaving. The Leaving. I didn't read that, but I'm sure
it's out on Audible.
Yeah, is it on Audible?
You're having trouble reading now.
Oh, well, that'd be good. That'd be a lovely thing, actually, Charlie. Thank you very much.
What home are you in? What home are you in now?
It's called the Jewish Twilight Home, and
oh yes, that's right.
It's just near Sacha Baron Cohen, and he's got about 20 years to go. But so growing up in that pub, and eventually I sent you off to boarding school. So I guess that would at university. You were boarding at university, weren't you, or not?
Yeah, I was. I was boarding in at my parents' pub in Albury, and when I was 11, I got the Bishop Henschke. You don't have these. Yeah. Bishop Henschke Travelling Memorial Scholarship for Religious Knowledge, which got me to Waverley College up near your people.
That's right.
And then I was there, and then I got a scholarship at 15 to do medicine. But I was too young to do medicine, so I repeated the Leaving. Hence the title. Right, and then I went to Sydney Uni, where I boarded at St John's College.
Yeah. So, but was that hard work doing that?
No.
Like the Duke of Edinburgh, or like the Duke of Edinburgh. I mean, he was.
No, he took everything. He took everything in his strides.
Well, he did. But he was separated from his family.
As the legend would have it. Yes, he was a great horseman.
It was a great horseman, and not the sharpest tool, unlike yourself. But
he did have it. May not have been sharp, but it was very, very handy.
Well, that's right. He was an effective horseman, and I think you've been the same, haven't you?
He was. He kept that distance from her, just in case he got excited and knocked her over.
Well, yeah, but he was touring around a lot on his own, like yourself. And,
he was a lonely man for about 5 minutes in every town.
So
he came to Albury.
Did he? Yeah. And did you know people that he verstooped, or no?
Well, yes, the town clerk's wife. Oh no, that was Kamal.
Yeah. Is that hearsay, or you know that for sure?
No, I saw them at it.
Oh, really? Terrific. So, that's I always wonder about him touring on his own, because he was an attractive fellow.
Very attractive fellow. In fact, when he was in Albury, I was really couldn't keep to myself. But he had a lot of trouble in Tante Lasse, an island North New Guinea, where he was worshipped as a god.
Yeah.
This is serious. He was a god, and they worshipped Prince Philip. And it was made into a film, a very good film. It was nominated for an Academy Award.
Yeah.
And so it was literally a cargo cult.
Yeah, no, I know about that, but he wouldn't have actually reciprocated, would he?
He had a lot of love for a lot of those, dancing Tina women. He spread it around. He was.
I doubt it. But
he was a river to his people in Tante Latte.
Yeah. But and he was a god. I mean, he was a god.
He was a god to his people.
He was a god to those people.
Yeah, but, I don't know what they're doing. I think they've picked Meghan Markle as the next goddess to draw.
Well, I don't know. Where did you read that? Because I saw Scott Morrison was their the new representative.
Oh, I doubt that. I think they like the British royalty.
No. I read this morning. He's up there at the moment, Scott, because they're trying to stop Indian people getting through. So he's.
But they're already here. I've just come from a grocer.
So yeah, but they don't have the COVID, luckily for you. So
no.
Have you had your shots? Have you had?
I had my shot, and I've had the reaction. You know.
Yeah.
Something peaked. You know that thing peaks. You know, spike, the protein spike.
Well, my daughter had it yesterday. She had the second Moderna thing, and she had a terrible night last night. So there you go.
Yeah.
But she's in the US. So just from chronologically, so you were born in 1950, and you spent most of your childhood in that town in Albury.
11 years. Yeah. 11 years under the stewardship of Cleaver Bunton.
Cleaver Bunton, right.
He was a man. He ruled Albury with a colossal fist, and he had 1 foot in Wodonga and 1 foot in Albury.
Yeah, well, I just did some shows down there. I actually did a place called Balldale, which is on the Murray there, just not far.
Yeah, Balldale. It's a satellite town of Albury.
Yeah. So I just did a show right there, and I like Albury these days.
How did they receive you?
Well, it was actually terrific, but I think they were, it was post-COVID for a second, and so they hadn't had much entertainment for a while. So they were very exuberant, I must say.
Yeah,
but I don't think it'll be a return visit.
Were there sort of groupies at the back door?
There was a lot of them. Yeah, a lot. And I made a mistake because, unlike yourself, I got involved with them, and I know how you like to distance yourself from. Girls like Tina, for instance, you like to distance.
Yeah, no,
yourself.
Tina. Well, I found social distancing shortly after I met Tina.
Sexual distancing.
And before COVID.
Was sexual distancing.
Distancing themselves from me.
Yeah. So what actually happened with that Tina girl? Because
it's still ongoing.
Is it? But what did she?
Still in the bar association.
But what did she say? What did she say you did? What did she say you did?
Oh, practically nothing. Nothing physical or.
No, but you didn't do anything with her at all, did you? No, you didn't do anything.
No, I certainly did not do anything with her. We had a frank discussion about women's issues.
Right. And then you showed her your penis on the TV.
I take the 128th.
Right.
That's a fifth of the New South Wales Evidence Act. The right to silence. Sandy, you and I have fought for the right to silence, and being a stand-up comic, it's been enforced on you so many times.
It has been.
You should have exercised the right to silence.
Unfortunately, you weren't defending me because I think I would have won the case. The judge called my act. The judge called my act the filthy, disgusting ravings of a mindless, depraved human being. That was in Cairns.
How much did that cost you?
It cost me a few $1,000s.
What to pay him to say that? Because when I saw you
to pay Joe Bajorki Peterson, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, to pay. I saw you down West Point. Do you remember?
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened there? Because I don't have much recollection of all these things. So what happened there?
And is there a reason?
I have no idea. Well, I have no idea, but it's. I mean, I really have no idea. I mean, I've done thousands of shows, so I don't remember. But people like Akmal, other comedians, tell me what I did, but I can't remember. I like running away from a club in Kempsey during Anzac Day when they told me not to take the piss out of the Anzacs, and I did, and I had to run through the car park and whatever. But I don't remember.
What I remember about the Anzacs, there wasn't much piss to add because very full.
But what happened at Rest Point? I don't know what happened there.
Now, Rest Point, you were booed, but I got a squad cheering you, and you got through the night. I was doing a case down there for Dr. Quill.
Yeah.
He came on to Rake.
Oh yeah.
As a fifth episode in the first series, if you watched it.
I haven't watched it. My brother tells me to watch it, but
the successful brother.
The successful brother tells me to watch it, and I think
your mother must. Yeah, your mother's very proud of him.
Well, she's dead, she was much prouder of him. Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately, but
he was brilliant.
Why?
Well, he was such a good architect, and then he sort of ran Westfields for a long time, and then he branched into everything. He was a brilliant man, architect, all round, funny.
Yeah, very brilliant.
Yeah, he got the sense of humour. A lot of
he
people
did.
say.
He got the sense of humour. That's right.
But you can draw.
You agree with those people that you agree with those people down in Tasmania.
No, I just think you probably.
But you came to my show in Bondi and you enjoyed it, and you said
I loved it.
But you thought you wouldn't enjoy it. Why was that?
Yeah, just because I've listened to all your records and stuff. But you were very funny. Live.
Yeah, but it takes.
Now you've always been very funny.
Yeah, but it does take time though to develop this
45 years, a bit of a
skill. 45 years. Well, I think it takes a long time. That's the problem with comedy today, is that very few of them have any experience in the business and think they're funny immediately. So it's
it took me 45 years to get my comedy act going in court.
Right.
And then they took
it away. It hasn't been, that's right. But they took it away from you because
they took it away from they punched my card, punched my ticket.
Well, look, so we're in the same boat. We both got successful siblings, and we're both we're both really, but we're both losers. But
no, we're not. We're coming towards. We're between. We're between fortunes.
That's right. Well, I am, but not you. But
you see, I'm embarking on a comedian, sort of the comic road where I should have started in the first place.
Oh, well, that's interesting. So tell us about that.
I always wanted to be a stand-up comic, and when I was your age, 21. I went to the Comedy Store in LA.
Yeah.
While we were touring Boys Own Macbeth, and comedy wasn't in vogue then. And I went to the Comedy Store. There was one woman there, Judy Davis. A true story.
Yeah.
And so she was staying at the Chateau Marmont up there in the Robert De Niro room, the empty Robert De Niro room.
Yeah. The John Belushi suite, you meant, don't you?
I stayed there for 3 months with Philippe, editing The Howling 3.
Yeah.
You remember? Both of us have done films with Philippe.
No, well, actually, he's the next a cab off the rank. But so yeah. Anyway, so you're at the Comedy Store with Judy Davis. That's before Mrs. Whatever, before her before Brilliant Career, wasn't it?
No, she'd just done Brilliant Career, and they were offering her a Burt Reynolds movie called Sharky's Machine.
I remember that picture. Yeah.
And she was very bolshy in those days, and she walked out.
Right.
And guess who got the role?
I think Rachel Ward did, didn't she?
He did, exactly.
That's right, Rachel Ward.
Small world, isn't it?
One of your exes, but
my friend.
Well, your friend and your ex-lover, but
cruel on me.
No. I think she's always said how much she likes you and how attractive you are.
Name one woman.
What about Jack Marks? But Jack Marks doesn't like you or me. But
he wrote a great piece on me.
That was a nice piece in the Monthly. But subsequently,
he said that I looked like Michael Hutchins if he kept on drugging and drinking.
Yeah, that's right.
I took that as a backhander.
But no, it wasn't a backhand. It was nice. And he also said you were attractive. I don't know. He must have been in a funny frame of mind. But he said
he was on his knees. I don't know what he was doing.
But
has he said some awful things about me?
No. He was nasty to me. So he said
why should I suffer?
He said I burnt more bridges than the Red Army. I remember in that article.
I know you've burned more bridges than Madison County.
Yeah, that's right. And what do you think?
I think he's got you wrong.
But what about Martin Fabini? What about Marty? Marty said that if it wasn't for Australiana, I'd be driving taxis.
Do you remember when we negotiated that at Mario's?
I don't really remember any of that. But tell me what you think, because you had a fairly acrimonious relationship with my mate. So with Billy Birmingham.
Martin and I would negotiate Australiana. You were there, and Billy Birmingham. It was the hardest contract, and I include 45 years of law I've ever negotiated.
Right. And why was that? Why was that? Because I don't really know. Yeah.
Billy was insistent on every sub-clause, every sub-clause. He's the hardest man I've ever negotiated with, and I've negotiated with some pretty tough people. Brian Brown, Russell Crowe, CAA.
Yeah.
You name them. Ron Perlman.
Well, he's a very, very sharp fellow, but I don't know whether he was right in all that stuff, because.
Well, you must have got a lot of money out of it.
I didn't get a lot of money, but I think, we went 50-50 on that deal. Everything.
But he had overheads. He had overheads.
Probably. We went 50-50 just straight down the middle with everything. But everybody that came to us for something, that was the case. It was a fairly difficult procedure for him.
He was the one. He was terrific.
Well, was he terrific or was he not terrific?
No, he was hard to deal with.
Yeah. So why do you say he was terrific though?
Well, he was terrific for his clients, which was him.
And, that's right.
Yeah, and because you were the joker, and he seemed like the accountant. And
well, obviously, but he was much more than that. You know that, right? He's obviously.
Oh yeah, no, he had a way with words.
Oh no, he's a genius, mate. He's a total genius.
Yeah. No, total great mimic, great fun, great guy. And he should have done Austen Tayshus. Austen Tayshus. He should have done that record.
Well, that's what he thinks. No, he does, and he's always thought that. So, of course.
I was very proud to be.
What do you think? I mean, he disappeared after 1 year.
Yeah, then he turned up as Richard Benno,
Whatever it is, but he decided that he was out of there, and it was all about him, though. It was all that's okay. That was his thing. He decided that Sandy, did it. Sandy shouldn't have done this record. He should have done the record.
But you and I get accused of being narcissists all the time, and. Look, I'm writing a book denying that I'm a narcissist. My first book was about me at 11.
Yeah.
And then my family complained so much. So the second book is just about me, not my family, no one else.
Repeating or leaving.
Yeah, just me.
Yeah, that's about you. But that's already out, though. That's been out for a while, hasn't it? Yeah.
And the next book is just me.
Right.
Again. My thoughts.
Okay, but going back to Fabini, who's lying in hospital almost dead. So
no, he's out. He's released.
Yeah, and you had a good relationship with Fabini. And
yes,
you still have a good relationship with him because you.
Yes,
you don't have a good relationship with many people like that you've.
I do with my trustee in bankruptcy.
Apart from that, and I know exactly what you've been through there, but
I've got a good relationship with Women's College on Sydney University campus.
I bet you do, yeah.
And I have a very good relationship with Brittany Higgins.
Yep.
And a very good
Bill Scaff.
Bill Scaff, he's still. Would you sign a petition to get him out?
100%, mate, 100%. And to get him to, maybe he could work for Hamas or Hezbollah or something like that.
Again.
Well, exactly. I'm happy to go. I would be his patron. I would be his patron. I would have no problem with that.
No, these sentences are just ridiculous. His young brother Mohammed was a ridiculous amount of time. He was 15 or 16 at the time.
How long have they been there? 40 years, something like that.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah. Give him another 50. Give him another 60. Anyway, so I just want to get on to keep with Fabini for a second. That's all. So, what was it with Fabini? Because he was managing that company pretty well. Was that with you or with Cameron?
With me.
Cameron.
Yeah, Cameron, who married every girl I ever wanted to marry.
Yeah, well, he was clever.
Remember, he married Philip Adams' wife.
He did,
and then he married some other girl I fancied. He was the luckiest man.
Wertheim. What's her name?
Margaret
Wertheim. Margaret Wertheim. No, I was there with him. I was with him in Park La Brea but before he descended into alcoholism. But
yes, but he gave me a good tip. He had cirrhosis of the liver as a result of Hep C, as you pick this up back in.
Oh, right.
And then he couldn't. He was on a waiting list for a liver. So he moved to Tennessee, where it's not compulsory to wear a helmet.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of young livers come. And so in Tennessee, you only have to wait a week before someone...
But his body rejected it. His body rejected the liver.
Well, those Tennessee guys.
Hey, what do they know about liver? They don't know nothing about liver.
Too far out.
They're too out there, aren't they, Charlie? So...
If they don't wear a helmet, they're not they're not smart, first off.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
But they weren't before that. But so
Fabini and me and his brother.
Yeah.
We had
Jerry.
We had board meetings every Friday.
Yeah. But but how long did you last in there? It was about a couple of years.
10 years.
Oh, 10 years, did you? Okay. Right.
Well, I was mostly in casting and looking for young singers to, break.
Yeah. Well, that's your modus operandi. And thank goodness.
I spend weekends looking for,
because the Australian music scene would never have been, much different had it not been for you. So.
Well, me and Gadinsky are often.
You brightened it up, and you're a mate of Michael's too, were you?
Yeah. Well, we shared many.
Well, I didn't see you speaking there. You didn't cross-dress, did you? So
I didn't want to get COVID.
Right. Fair enough. So for me, let's forget Fabini. So let's talk about your political, let's talk about your legal career and
some high points.
Some of the high points, because you've had a fairly illustrious career, and they've been at you. I was talking to Peter Livesey, your mate, the other day, and he's in the same boat. I mean, he has
no, he never practiced, but that was the saddest day in New South Wales history when he was cross-examined by 3 judges of the Court of Appeal when he was trying to avoid getting struck off. It was just disgraceful.
Were you in the court? Were you in the court?
Yeah, I was in the court, and the 3 judges were they said, "Where's your wig?" He said, "I don't have one." "Oh God," they said. "Where's your chambers?" "I don't have any." "Oh my God." Who's your clerk?" "I don't have one." All that rubbish.
Yeah.
It was a sad day in Australia.
No, it is, because he's a sharp fellow. And Marcus Einfeld and all of that stuff. You enjoyed working with him, did you?
Yeah, no, he was my mentor. May explained a lot.
Yeah.
He's a terrific guy, always was. And
a narcissist like yourself.
Well, there can't be 2 narcissists in the world at once.
No, yes, they can. There's 2 right now.
No, but we're not in the same room.
Oh, not the same room. I'm sorry.
Marcus and I were in the same courtroom many years.
Yeah.
He taught me how to cross-examine.
Yeah. So he was quite a brilliant fellow too. That was a tragedy, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was. I think PTSD. That's, you can be in the law for too long,
Yeah.
And coppers get it. People returning from Afghanistan get it. Comedians get it. We all fall in love. There was a Cole Porter song in there. I get it.
It's hard to. It's hard to. That's right. Yeah, people in the law get it.
Get it.
Let's get it.
Let's
PTSD. Yeah. Anyway, Charlie. So, how do you feel now, though, with all this story? I mean, you've been treated fairly badly yourself. I mean,
shocking, because
let's talk about woke, and let's talk about cancels, and let's talk about what's going on right now. I just talked to Philip Fraser. Do you know Philip Fraser?
The lawyer?
No, he started Rolling Stone in Australia. You probably know him. He was
I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, he lives in Mullumbimby now, but I just did a podcast with him. He's a very sharp fellow, and we talked a lot about climate change. And
that's why I never have money, because my grandmother told me to sort of save for a rainy day, but I thought with climate change we'll never get there. And so I spent all my super and spent the rest of it on girls, and now I'm rich in experience.
You're rich in experience, which is what I want to get into, because how do you feel about all this stuff about, because the world's upside down. And I said to him, I asked him about, because he started Rolling Stone at the same time, around the same time as Playboy. He brought Rolling Stone to Australia. And we talked about the objectification of women. And he says that things are moving slowly, but the white patriarchy is disappearing, or will gradually disappear. So you represent that in some ways. You represent. I know you've worked for them, but you're a white man, or you've been a privileged white fellow most of your life,
like yourself.
No, I'm a Jewish boy, so I've had less privilege than you. But
I'm a Catholic boy. That's the bottom of the barrel.
I guess is it below Jewish people? Not really, because Germans were Protestants and Catholics, so and they
murdered us. Catholics were first into the.
No, not really.
You haven't read.
I've read everything.
I've read The Leaving, have you?
I've read everything, but I've read every possible thing known to man about the Holocaust. Anyway.
Well, I've lived with Philippe Moore for 10 years, so I know everything.
Well, he's Holocaust obsessed like myself, but no, but I mean, what do you think about all of that? I mean, you're obviously the recipient. You're a recipient of the venom, aren't you?
Well, I was the sort of target of an online magazine that was looking for something to do, and they sent in a young Chinese woman who was terrific, and then one of my PAs decided to jump on board, and then two other people were rolled up. But really, it was funnily the best thing that ever happened to me, because if I hadn't been attacked like that, which is a minor flaw, I was just a motor mouth, would try to joke through everything, but not doing the bar made me a better man, because it was not easy. I went from tens of thousands a day to the pension, which is big. I couldn't cook, I couldn't make a bed. I grew up in a pub, lived at the Chateau Marmont, so it cleansed me in a way. So I would have died of sugar babies and ended up with diabetes if I was allowed to go on my way.
Yeah.
But it did me a lot of good, but I'm a bit doubtful. I'm all for women's rage, absolutely. 5,000 years is enough, that's enough. I mean, we have dominated for a long time, and I prefer the woman's touch. Margaret Thatcher, the girl from New Zealand, my God, she's got me. And
the teeth have, yeah.
She's a beautiful leader.
She's fantastic. She's fantastic.
Very fantastic. She's a fabulous leader, and she.
Hey, hold on a second, Andrew. Yeah. There's something come up that's covered his face. Yeah,
I think that's the public.
He's got a handsome face. Just can you see me? Still, you can, I guess.
Yeah, I can see, but you're covered by the meeting is up.
The
meeting's been upgraded by the host. Now it's unlimited.
Okay, anyway, keep going, because this is I want to get into this stuff. So,
well, you want me to confess and confirm?
No, I just want to get into all it. Well, I mean, it affects my life. All this stuff affects my life as a stand-up comic who's trying to be.
Oh, it does very much.
Well, and stand-up comics throughout the world are complaining about it and wondering how far is it going to go? That's the thing. How far will it go?
Well, the trouble is, there seems to be something in the water that's taken away from many women, that vital component, sense of humor. Sense of humor, I think it was fluoride. Fluoride seems to be particularly savage when it comes to women. And the word irony has not occurred in a vocabulary. They think, I've asked a lot of women what irony is, because they say, well, that was a shocking thing to say. And I say, that was irony. And they say, we thought irony was that stuff that grows out of Broken Hill. No, I said, that's irony. But so irony and sense of humor seem to have dissolved. And so they're out of, and that's why Monty Python's cancelled. Philip Roth, who was particularly funny writer.
Terrifically funny writer, the best writer.
They didn't cancel Philip Roth, they cancelled these.
Yeah, they cancelled the Bailey guy, the biographer.
But that's
he was sexually harassing lots of girls. I mean, really full on stuff. So
is that still illegal?
Apparently, but Chuck. So I said to Philip Fraser, I said, did you watch the Oscars? Because I watched the Oscars last week, 3 hours of total boredom. I mean, and their viewing audience dropped from 40 million to 9 million because it was fucking shit. It was shit house. It was
I thought it was unusual that a woman should win the Oscar for best performance by a male. It's got to that, which I thought was
it's a shitty movie too. Actually, it's a pretty boring movie. It's a pretty boring, but he defended it. As what that's what's happened to America.
Did you see Promising Young Woman?
I did. I didn't like that either.
Yeah.
No, you thought it was terrific. Really?
Terrific. Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Well, because it was well shot and because it's politically correct. My
shot.
real opinion was I thought it was rubbish. But one best screenwriter because she wrote Killing Eve, which I like, so I didn't mind her winning the Oscar.
Also, Margot Robbie produced it, so they wanted to give Margot Robbie something because she's fabulous. She's fabulous.
Very good.
She can have you even. But that film, Frances McDormand hired Chloe Zhang to direct it, and she edited it. She probably photographed it. She did the dress. There wasn't much there.
Well, I think she's one of the best.
Was a documentary though? Was it? It was a documentary.
Well, it was one of the best Asian directed since the guy that did Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, Ang Lee. Yeah.
Ang Lee, he's a great Asian.
No, he is a great Asian. Yeah, but
That's
exactly.
not the first time.
No, exactly. But I think Father was probably a better movie, or even The Trial of the Chicago 7 in retrospect.
Not really. I love Sacha and I love Hopkins because when I first stopped drinking, I used to, because it's AA Anonymous, and I remember you're attending, and sorry I said that, it's all anonymous, but they passed around tapes by Sir Anthony H.
Really?
AA meetings.
Right.
I spent half my life looking for this Sir Anthony H.
Yeah.
They gave beautiful, give up the drink tapes, but all anonymously.
Give up the drink.
Yeah. But I thought that was not his best performance, personally.
Have you seen that movie? You've seen it, have you?
Yeah, I saw it. I go to everything.
I watched Remains of the Day the other day. Actually,
that was funny.
It's very funny, but it's such a good movie. Such a good
Asian written movie. You see,
very well Asian written.
Writer.
Yeah. What's his name? Izukuki Yakamoto, something like that.
That's
what's his name? What's his name? Do you remember his name?
Yeah, I remember his name, but I can't say it.
Yes, you can.
No, I'm not. I'm phonetically.
Say it.
No, I can't. No, I can't. Mukati.
Harushi was anyway, Yakamoto, whatever it was. Anyway,
who won Best Actress?
Frances McDormand, the male that you said.
Right, yeah, male is, and the best female in a male.
That's what you meant, though, didn't you? Did you mean?
Of course, so. Yeah.
Well, that was your joke, yeah. Frances McDormand, and she's okay, but she wasn't really. It wasn't exponentially, amazing that performance.
But it had a lot of luggage to carry. White nomads. Grey-haired nomads. Have you run into them up at Byron?
Everywhere I go. Not only that, Western Australia is absolutely full to the brim with those people, particularly during the COVID. But Haruchi's Yakamoto. But anyway, that Remains of the Day was a terrific movie. Terrific. It's worth re-looking at it.
I tell you, speaking of cancelled, they've cancelled my life membership at the women's gym.
Was that politically motivated?
No, I loved going to women's gyms.
And you ran out of money, or?
No, it was just cheaper.
They figured you weren't a woman. When did they work that out?
I don't know.
You are so feminine, Charlie.
I am.
You're a very feminine sort of a
Michael
Gudinski.
Has it affected any of your performances?
Well, pretty much. PC? No, because I don't give a fuck. But a lot of comedians that are on a lower level than myself, as I'm stratospheric. A lot of the
red-headed guy that got he was masturbating in his
Louis C.K.
In the green room.
You mean in America? In America.
Who isn't nervous in the green room?
Well, it wasn't really in the green room, was it? I think it was at a rodeo.
Oh, that's perfectly normal.
Well, anyway, I know that guy pretty well, and he's a narcissist like yourself. But it hasn't really affected my life, but it could.
Yeah, it could, because you skirt the issues. You know, you're very, very
ironic.
That's my word, you know.
It's your word, but that's what I do. It's all irony, and people misinterpret it, as you know. That's why your life is fucked. But irony,
not permanently.
Well, you never know.
No, because I've decided to go the Kardashian way. You know, if a person who won a gold medal at the Olympics can turn his life around and becomes, you know, Miss Jenner, then I'm prepared to pay that price.
What would you call Charlene?
Yeah, Charlene Jenner. Yeah,
Charlene Waterstreet.
Charlotte.
Charlotte is good.
Yeah, Charlotte suits me.
So what's the future looking like? You don't think it's too bleak at the moment? I mean, you're okay.
No, I'm okay. I've got my fingers in a few pies.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, no, things are going all right. I must say it was a bit bumpy leaving court because it hindered your routine. And if you're used to getting tens of thousands a week and you go to 500 a fortnight, it's big difference.
Well, you've been an outsider and you've been a provocateur, and you know you skirt like you say, you skirt, you know, the.
I thought boundaries only existed on cricket fields.
Well, that's right, mate, and that's the way I think as well. And so I built my career, and that Jack Marks, his thing was self-sabotage is what you've done to yourself.
I'm a Catholic.
Well, I'm a Jew, and
we have the same thing.
Well, I don't regret anything that I've done in my career, and that ABC guy the other day, I did an interview with the ABC, and he said, you know, lots of people have big problems with you. And I said, well, I don't regret anything. And, you know, I really believe from an intellectual perspective, I've carried out what I wanted to do in my life. I wanted to upset.
Well, that's why the right winger are so appealing now, because the only ones who are taking on the PC world, I'm not so much... I watched the Beijing Olympics in bed with Jermaine. So I'm very much a feminist. Yeah. But I think the right wing are right on this PC thing. They're taking it on. You know.
You're talking about Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, he's not right wing, but he's turned to.
Well, he's close.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, no, he's smart.
The man I want to be.
Yeah, he's smart.
I want to have that voice, that lifestyle.
You have a voice, Charlie.
One wife, but I don't want to live
you have a wonderful, resonant, mellifluous
I don't want to live
voice.
In his town, though.
Where's that? Where's Ottawa? Huh?
It's a small town in Canada.
Yeah, but Ottawa, is it?
No, it's not as big as Ottawa. It's a small town.
I don't know where he lives.
He's terrific.
But he resurrects himself. You know, that's what he does.
Well, he went from 12 rules of life to, what was it now, 13 or?
Well, whatever. But he's down and he's up and he's down. They whack him and
he had a bit of depression because people reacted to him, but he's not a misogynist.
Yeah, not at all. I don't think he is.
Not at all. He's really just an individualist. He's like Camus.
Well, he is, and it's most of what he says is common sense.
Yeah, it is.
But
writ large.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's common sense. I think common sense is where we need to be right now with all of this stuff.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, I don't think putting down, Uber drivers is the way to go. But there's got to be some balance. So it has to spin back somehow.
I wouldn't. I've never had an Uber driver go down, but I've heard.
But I mean, it has to come back. It has to
spring back.
It has to spring back some. Well, it doesn't have to go.
I distinguish between women's rage, which I'm 100% behind.
Yeah.
Women's rage. 5,000 years is long enough for men to get away with what they've been getting away. Your people, my people, everyone's people. And that has to change. But Me Too is just too politically correct. It's all taking itself too seriously. I read a newspaper and it says Waterstreet is Australia's Weinstein.
Really? Where was that? Where was that?
You Google me.
I didn't see that. I mean, that's extraordinary.
Well, I'm in the film
because I would say you're worse.
Well, I was in the film business, and
Yeah,
I have to admit that part.
Yeah.
And I wrote an article on the girls who slept with Weinstein and didn't come out.
Right.
And that provoked Tina.
Right. And what happened? What actually happened? But did you show her a picture of your penis or something?
That would be telling. I am not someone who kisses and tells.
Kisses and tells, but yeah. Tina, what is it? Tina Huang, is that her name? Tina Huang?
Huang.
Tina Huang. Yeah. Well,
she's a good girl.
Yeah.
She's in training to be a writer, philosopher. Very bright.
And there's no acrimony between you at the moment?
Well, she hasn't dated me since we met in my chambers.
Oh, well.
But that goes unstated.
And Gretel Colleen?
Gretel Colleen talks to me every third month. No, she's a wonder. I see her every week.
Well, that's terrific.
She's a great woman.
Yeah.
She's the most intelligent she's the most intelligent person I've ever spoke to besides yourself.
Well, you haven't been around much, but you haven't traveled widely. And your son is going well, your son?
He's running motion pictures at CAA.
Is he?
Yeah.
That's terrific. He's an agent. Is he an agent?
Yeah, he's an agent for a foreign country.
Terrific.
Yeah. So he won't accept my proposals.
But he must like the Jewish people, though, unlike yourself.
Well, he pretends to be Jewish, you see.
Oh, does he?
That's how he got the job. Waterstreet, I told him, was a
Wasserstrasse.
Can I suggest, Sandy, that you read Urban Dictionary and look up the meaning of Water Street?
Wasserstrasse.
The Wasserstrasse.
Is it Wasserstrasse?
Yes.
And what does it say?
I can't say it on television.
Wasserstrasse. You can say it on this. This is everything. Anything goes on this thing.
You sure?
I had Allen Ginsberg here only an hour ago.
Do you want me to read it literally from the?
Yeah, please. From Urban Dictionary that you just happen to have right by yourself.
I do here, but I'll have to look it up. And you sure this is
completely kosher? Completely kosher, 100%.
If I looked up,
good choice of words.
So if I go Water Street, Urban Dictionary, and I read it completely as it is, you say there's no repercussions.
Not from me, there won't be. It could be Justice Bird from the Cairns Supreme Court. Who knows? Okay,
I read from the Urban Dictionary, the dictionary of our time.
Please, thanks.
Water Street. Noun: veritable semen slide from the vagina to the anus. Cum-covered taint. Frequent occurrence in contemporary porn. Water Street. A Water Street noun often occurs following bareback vaginal sex, when the man pulls out directly after orgasm. Note: to be used without an article, like a disease. One contracts Water Street, not a Water Street.
One contracts a Water Street. Yeah.
Ruth's lottery number was high, but she got Water Street all the same, along with the rest of the sophomore girls, end quote. So that's the actual.
So it's sperm leaking from the vagina into the bum. Is that what it is?
In the border, it's a border. Yeah, it's on the border.
Well, that's where you're from, the border. You're from the border town. Isn't that amazing? How is that incredible?
It's an incredible coincidence. And
that you are from the Murray River, right on the border, and you're a borderline Wasserstrasse.
Yes, so you go from Wodonga to orbit, which is a bit like sliding from the vagina
there you
to the anus. And you got through the border to get to Australia, didn't you?
I did. That's right. Yeah. We all did. Thank God for the Labor government.
So when Scotty was in charge of Border Patrol, he knew what he was on about. Well, he's keeping Water Streets from sliding in.
That's right. That's right.
That's a true statement, and it surprised me.
That's from the porno world, though, isn't it? It would be from the world.
It's from not porno. Urban Dictionary is just what said it in the street.
Right. Colloquialisms.
Colloquial, yeah. It'll be the language of the future. You know, people will be dropping.
Well, I've got to say, it was very enlightening. That was extremely enlightening.
A lot of people don't know.
So Chuck, we got to move because I got another one coming through here.
Who's coming after me?
A guy called Jamie Fawcett. Do you know who he is?
Fawcett is a Waterstreet type of name.
That's how amazing these coincidences are.
Untapped potential.
Who is the guy? Who? That's right. But who is he? Who is he? You know who he is?
He's a big handle.
He's the paparazzo who Nicole Kidman got the shits with a few years ago because he was being a serial pest. Do you remember him? He's a paparazzo. He's a paparazzo.
I remember him well. He used to get me and Nicole when we were just leaving the hotel room, and he was very intrusive.
Was he? Did he know about the Waterstreet though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's probably what he was
looking for. There was a lot
of
that going on at that time.
That's what he was looking for, I think, fundamentally.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's the next one. It's the next cab off the rank. So I just wanted because it's been a great little chat here. I just wanted to talk about the future with you a little bit about the future. What do you think? How do you think the future is looking?
Well, I've got a bestseller. I've just about finished. And
what's that titled?
It's called Rake Man.
Ah, right.
Yeah, that's just for publicity purposes.
Finally severing all your ties with Peter Duncan and Richard Roxburgh.
We haven't talked in years. I don't know. We don't.
So I must say that Peter Livesey said to me the other day at breakfast that Rake has nothing to do with you. That's what he said to me.
Yeah, no. Well, he would know because I remember Peter well when he was a location manager on a few of my shorts. And he certainly knew as much about film as he did about law.
He did end up playing ping pong with Keanu Reeves, though, and I beat him.
And he bears an uncanny resemblance to the grocer next door, doesn't he?
Anyway, he did say that Charlie's got nothing to do with Rake. So how do you respond to that? Apart from putting Peter down, what do you think?
Well, my name seems to be on every episode ever made in every country.
So they say that, but they say that there was another guy. He said there was another lawyer that was based on. It's an amalgamation of, I think, Graham Bond and you and.
Yeah, no, it's. I was the vase in which they arranged the vase.
Excellent. Well, that's a good way of putting it. And you still want cash from them, though, don't you?
I got enormous amounts of cash
from them. No, you did.
From them, I did. Yeah.
Really? When was that?
Do you think that my name would be on every episode?
I don't know. I think you're right. You're absolutely right. But he did bring this up at the breakfast the other day. So he's wrong. Okay. So we've cleared that up.
I did hear the other day that Ben English, who's the editor of the Daily Telegraph, was based on his father, who I had the honor to represent.
Right.
His father was a lawyer writer called Bob English, and he was a terrific guy. And he was charged with bottom of the harbour scheme. Right. I think your name came up in that.
Yeah.
And we won, but he had nothing to do with it.
But there was somebody, you mentioned another name. I don't know who it might have been.
Pat Costello?
No, it wasn't Pat Costello. He did mention, but we talked about, I knew Patrick Costello quite well, but not intimately.
I know his daughter well.
Yeah. Who's that?
Nana. She lives up near Byron Bay. Who's
Nana? I mean, Nana who? Livesey?
No, Nana.
Costello.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Beautiful.
He was married to a beautiful girl though.
I saw her up there at.
What's her name?
Mrs. Costello.
Yeah, who was that? What was her name?
I forget her first name. But
she was a pretty
very
girl.
pretty model, Italian pretty model.
That's right. Was it Kathy Pereira? Wasn't Kathy Pereira?
No. She was down Double Bay with the those boys.
Yeah. Those boys.
I ran into Snapper Cornwall the other day.
I don't know who that is.
He used to be a big drug runner in the old days.
Never
he
heard
spoke
of
well of you.
Never heard of him. I've never heard of him, Charles. I wouldn't know who he was. I've never heard of him, mate. You're fucking bullshitting again. Anyway, so
He spoke well of you.
Snapper. Well, we are talking about snappers. The snapper guy's coming through in a sec, but Snapper Fawcett. But so the future's looking bright. You got a bestseller on your hands, and you got that doc. Is that doco is that finished?
Yeah, it's just still in production, and we're still shooting some final scenes. They're waiting for me to age a bit, so as to bring it to a conclusion. Right. And they're sterling crew. It's fun. It is a lot of fun.
Have they heard about makeup? Have they heard about makeup at all? Or?
No, it's raw.
Oh, okay, raw. Yeah.
It's very, it's very genital warts and all.
Oh, excellent.
And trouser fly on the wall.
Excellent. Excellent.
It's very Byrne, that guy that made the Civil War.
Sure. Ken Burns. Burns. Yeah. He's just done a new one on Hemingway, which looks really good.
He was saying that. He said he wished he was working on me.
Yeah.
He said that.
Ken Burns said, yeah.
He said that in New York. He said,
"What is it? Waterstreet? That flow between the vagina and the anus."
No, he said, "I'm working on a dead man who shot his mouth off when I could be working on a live man who's always shutting his mouth off."
Very good. Yeah, well. Well, I hope you don't end up the same way, anyway. But because we like you, Charles.
Who did? Hunter Thompson went the same way.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
A lot of comics. A lot of comics. Bene Rifkin.
A lot of comic. Yeah. Well.
Robin.
Who?
Robin Williams.
Well, he hung himself, unfortunately.
No. Yeah. What about? Yeah. Do you feel any? Do you have days like that?
Well, if I had Louis' body dementia, I think probably that's a very nice way because Johnny Lewis had exactly that, and he had a terrible time.
Did he? Really?
He just died. He died a couple of months
ago.
Yeah,
I know.
But he had Louis' body. He had Louis' body, and he didn't tell many people, and then he ended up in the same facility as Richard Neville in Byron Bay, and Richard Neville had a terrible death as well.
I spoke at his funeral. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were both. I wasn't there, but no. Were you at Richard's funeral?
Yeah, I gave a speech.
Where was that?
At down in the Wharf.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. You mean his memorial then? Okay.
Yeah, his memorial.
But I see her a lot, Julie.
Oh, do you? I sent her an email the other day because I was watching that movie on
the serpent.
Charles Waterstreet.
The serpent. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good-looking actor, but the show wasn't very good.
I think she knows that. But anyway.
Yeah, but I emailed her to tell her to make sure to get some money, and I then read on and realised that she was getting money.
Oh, sure. She got lots of money. Yeah. She got nearly $300.
You remind me of Charles Waterstreet in those days. No,
you're kidding? Really?
You've got a touch of
You're the suave sort of Indian or Pakistani or
no, just the lady killer.
The Muslim thing. Yeah. Well, I have been a bit of a lady killer, I must say. But
you went too far.
With who?
Well, with all the killers, lady killing
with Tina Huang.
Yeah, no,
Tina Huang. Charles, so your career is. You think things are looking up. You think things are looking.
Oh yes, I'm getting rebranded.
Right. Well, that's good.
Russell branded.
Yeah. Well, I would say to you, stay with what you have because it's better than whatever rebranding. But what do I know?
No, I've drunk the magic potion. I'm never going to say naughty words again. And I've learned a lot, actually. I'm a different man than what I was 4 years ago. I'm poorer.
You got shorter hair.
I got shorter hair.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what happened with my hair? I had my hips replaced with ceramics.
Yeah.
And the hair got matted and they brought a shearer in and cut it. And I didn't consent. Yeah.
Well, it will grow back.
Yours hasn't on the front.
Well, what can you do about that, man? That's genetics.
You're
always so unkind, but you got a little bit of grey right there, which is nice.
Do you like Jack?
I like Jack a lot. You had something to do with Jack, didn't you?
Yeah, he gave it to me.
Did you have something to do with him? No.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember Richard. I think Richard Neville had him up at Happy Days.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I had Happy Days up there with Richard. I wonder if it's time to tell that story.
Do you remember that or not? Do you remember him being with? Yeah, because I went with Richard and Robin Williams to dinner a couple of times. But
so did I.
Yeah, but
my wife was a great mate of Robin's.
Fiona.
Yeah. Right. And his new wife, he was just with the babysitter.
That's right, but Marcia.
Yeah, she was a beautiful skin.
And that was how did Ricky Fatah? I can't remember how it all happened. Penelope Tree, Ricky Fatah, all of that. How did that all?
They were terrific.
They were all fitted together. It was all fitted together. All that was all part of that, wasn't it?
And that redheaded singer was Ricky was playing drums with the redheaded singer. You know, ginger haired. What was her name? The live audience.
Julie McGregor. Julie
the live audience here would know.
Julie McGregor.
Julie McGregor. No, I think it was the other McGregor.
McGregor. Which McGregor are you talking about? I don't think you know what you're talking about, Charlie.
What about Billy Connolly?
What about Billy Connolly? What about that?
I know, dude, it's sad.
Well, it was a bit of a wanker, but anyway.
Well, yeah, he was different to you. He told really funny jokes.
Really? I don't think so. Yeah. I never thought it was funny, but that's okay, Charlie.
So what are you doing for a living now?
Well, I'm doing this podcast thing, which has taken off. I've, you know, there are 1 billion podcasts in the world right now, and I'm right at the top.
I'm not. I'm starting them shortly.
Well, you should, because I don't think you have the ability, but you're a personality.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I've got nothing to say and little to add.
That's what I mean. But
I've got a photogenic voice.
A photogenic voice is what I was going to say, and it's mellifluous. It sort of reminded me. Honestly, I got to say, Anthony H.
Sir Anthony H. On the phone, I've often been described as the Sir Anthony H.
And he was nasty to you, Jack Marks, because he said you had some sort of lisp or something like that, or was it?
I did have a lisp.
I think it was that the Wadger thing. You know,
I did have that, and my wife, my dear ex-wife, loving memory.
She used to point it out all the time, did she?
She did. No, but she herself had a bit of the. You know, the W. She couldn't say W.
You mean like not like Martin Fabini, but he had.
Our son sounded like Elmer Fudd.
Oh really? Oh, where we hate WAP.
We spent a fortune on his.
Did you really? And you turned him into Bugs Bunny, did you?
No, he's now CAA.
Well, that's good. He's a Groucho Marx. So
he's very.
That's what Bugs Bunny was. You know, Bugs Bunny was Groucho Marx, and the carrot was the cigar. That's the silliest thing I've ever had. Got the brain. He's a wisecracking Jewish bunny.
But it's been cancelled too.
Everything's cancelled, mate. Everything's cancelled.
I think it is. They'll be cancelling the Handmaid's Tale, I think, soon. It's because it's got a smack of right-wing things in it. You know,
it's a good show.
It's a good show. A lot of S&M.
A lot of S&M. A lot of Margaret.
It reminds me of Peter Weir's Dead Poets Society, all that read in the forest, don't you think? You know, they stole a lot of Peter's stuff.
Well, they made a series out of Mosquito Coast that just started yesterday.
I know, that's amazing.
With Melissa George.
Yeah, I got a bit of a crush on her. Do you think?
So
is she in town?
She's in
town. Is she in Byron?
Just a phone call away.
She at the sea.
Not Byron. Byron Hemsworth Bay. It is now Byron Hemsworth Bay.
Can I put a bit of a plug in for my own podcast?
Sure, of course.
Yes, I'm doing Lawyers, Guns and Money with Omar Juanat. And he's probably one of the cleverest young solicitors running around town. All his clients never end up in jail. And he's very funny, very incisive, and he's got no hair, which is one of the things I insisted on.
The drawbacks.
Well, you never had a second banana on your shows, except Billy.
Well, that was 35 years ago. But I still, every show I have now, every show that I go to, every show that I do now, somebody yells out, Billy Birmingham wrote that fucking Australiana thing.
Yeah.
Billy Birmingham wrote that. And that stops me in my tracks, Charlie.
They're fabulous historians.
You didn't even write that thing, mate. Fucking Billy Birmingham wrote it.
Well, they've got a great national corporate memory.
That's right.
See, that's why, computers will never take over because they'll never be able to search for that second banana.
That's right.
And so that's what...
Yeah, fucking Billy Birmingham, mate. Without Billy Birmingham, you'd be driving fucking taxis.
Without Marty Fabini, I'd be still doing law,
Without Martin Fabini, you'd still be...
Do you know we did two shows for Channel 9, the history of lingerie, which I had to research in New York.
Isn't it Lingerie? It's Lingerie, though, isn't it?
It's Lingerie you're in Dover Heights, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I'm actually in Rose Bay, but it's Lingerie. We pronounce it Lingerie.
Nose Bay.
Charlie is such a wit. Anyway, yeah.
I got it. That's an oldie but a goodie.
An oldie but mate, and it really cut to the quick. That really.
When we did.
But what about Billy Birmingham, mate? What about fucking Billy Birmingham? Hey, what about that?
Didn't he write Australia?
Didn't he write Australiana, mate? He wrote Australia. Without that fucking Billy Birmingham, where would you be?
He wrote all the funny bits.
All the funny bits was Billy Birmingham, wasn't it? Without Billy Birmingham, mate.
Yeah.
Anyway, Charlie. Anyway, listen, mate. We have to make a move now. We got to move on to.
Is that Fawcett coming?
The Paparazzi. Yeah, he's not coming. He's on Zoom like you are, but he's
he died.
He's clocking in. No, he hasn't died, and he's.
Isn't he the guy with the ponytail?
I don't know. He doesn't know. I saw him down at Nielsen Park the other day waiting for Sacha Baron Cohen, and he had no ponytail.
Yes, so I owe Sacha a couple of calls.
Mate, he's just bought a house in Vaucluse. He's here forever.
Anyway. Where else do you blokes buy?
What about Bill Jew Hill? Charlie is such a wit, man, honestly. Anyway, we got to go, but it's been great talking to you.
Thanks. Been great listening to you.
See you, mate.
God bless.
Bye, mate.